Welcome to Forte Catholic Radio. This is your host, Taylor Schroll, and I'm lightheaded because that took a lot of breath to do. Welcome into today's show. It is a hot day, still in the beginnings of August, where it is quite warm. I am inside a supposedly air-conditioned building, but because of these large windows we have, with that there large sun looming over us, it does not feel like I'm inside. It is quite warm, which is my daily reminder that it's hot in Texas and it's hotter in hell. So live for the Jesus so you can go to heaven where they have perpetual air conditioning. Sam is here today. We are recording in the Red Sea Radio Intergalactic Studios. Sam, okay.
That sounded galactic in my mind.
What's funny is Sam has an entire, she has an iPad with an entire app in front of her with sound effects, but she decides to make them with her own mouth instead.
I can find them faster in my brain than I can on the iPad. It's really, there's a lot of things.
Sam, you have some exciting news today.
I do. Wait, hold on. Let me find a good sound. Wait, keep talking. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to...
I found it.
See, what Sam was doing was playing solitaire before the show instead of doing any show prep. She won the game, though, by the way.
I did.
In case you'd like to know. And stop doing it. Just play the solitaire, wind screen.
I don't think I can make that sound.
Oh, wow. That's something we're never, ever doing. Hey, Sam,
Nailed it.
Will you have your sound effect ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I got a new car.
Oh, Sam.
What?
I thought you were going to, hint the audience on to what you got. We have multiple car sound effects in that app.
Oh, hold on.
I got a new...
Wait, I'm not ready. That's a jet.
Airplane!
That was a jet.
I got a new airplane.
I panicked. There was so much panicking. I still don't see anything about a car.
Okay, while you finish that, I'm going to tell you a joke, Sam. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
And
there is no car sound effects.
This joke is about... Do I tell this joke? I think I can tell this joke.
I don't like when you ask that question because the answer is probably
okay. So
no.
Here's the deal. I tell this joke everywhere I go. It's one of those filler time jokes, like when I'm doing an event where I'm emceeing or I'm speaking, and I tell it all the time there. And my the way I can get away with it is I'm just going to preface this, Sam, by saying that I come from a family of lawyers. Now, I myself am not personally wealthy, but many in my family are, okay?
Well, that's good, I guess.
So, I'm not going to say where they work because they have some pretty important jobs. We'll just leave it at that. That's also not a car horn.
Sorry.
And so I have many lawyers in my family. My grandfather was a lawyer. My aunt is a lawyer.
Oh,
my cousin is a lawyer.
I found something.
Okay, are you ready? Well, why don't you just do the car horn at the end of my joke? As the applause, since you did the applause where the car horn was supposed to be.
Correct.
Okay, so, Sam, are you ready for this joke?
Yes.
Okay.
Your family are lawyers.
Yeah, that's just the preface, because
okay.
I don't want anybody, it's just a good, fun Catholic joke, but...
You're prefacing so much.
Everybody wants to get mad at me anytime I say anything funny. And by everyone, I mean Sam.
That's true.
So, here's the joke. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have the car horn ready for the applause at the end?
I have something. Okay. Yes.
This is terrifying. I'm not sure if I want to go through with this now. Okay. So you've heard of St. Peter up at the gates of heaven, right?
Yes.
Okay. His job is to guard the door. He's the bodyguard up at heaven. He's
the guard dog.
He has hounds of heaven.
Yes.
The hound of heaven. That's my favorite term for Jesus, by the way. Like Jesus is always the guy coming to chase after you. Like he's, there's no shadow. He won't light up mountain. He won't climb up as a dog running after you because he's the hound of heaven.
I don't remember that song going like that.
That's exactly how that song goes. Okay. So, can I tell my joke?
Yes. All your family are lawyers.
The funny thing is, I wasn't even planning on telling this joke, and now it's taking up the entire segment because Sam Shepard. By the way, speaking of dogs, I was just talking about
this is
Sam.
Not the joke.
Well, that also came off wrong. Speaking of dogs, I was just talking about Sam. That's not what I meant. So, Sam, you were born where?
In Germany.
And your last name is?
Shepherd.
No, it's Sam. Your name is Producer Sam.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, but the last name your parents gave you is Shepherd.
Correct.
You were born in Germany, so
Yes.
you are the German Shepherd.
This is correct.
So you're the hounds that I sick on people whenever they send hate mail into the show. So it's your fault when anything goes wrong. So here's the joke. Okay. St. Peter up at the gates of heaven, and he's standing there just doing his job. You know, it's like, yeah, you can come in, Sam. You need to go to the waiting room of purgatory for, 800 years. You can hang out there with Taylor. He's already been there for a few. He's standing there letting people in. And while he's doing this, yes, no, he looks down into hell. And he sees that they're like having a good time. And it kind of looks like beautiful weather. So he calls Satan up for like a little meeting in the middle. It's like, hey, come here. Like, we got to talk about this.
Is that how this works?
Yeah. This is absolutely theologically accurate. This is not a theologically accurate statement. Okay, so Peter is talking to him. He says, what are you doing? Like, this isn't the rules. Like, hell's supposed to be hot. And Satan's like, well, I don't see the rule book. Like, where does it say it has to be hot?
Because Satan follows the rules.
I mean, it's his MO. By the way, this segment is brought to you by sarcasm. If you're mad at anything, just realize the problem's not me. It's you. Whoa. What are you trying to say? That was inappropriate. Okay. So, where was I? All I'm thinking about is getting the show getting canceled. So I'm looking. It's not me. It's St. Peter. St. Peter's looking down, talking to Satan. You can't do this. You're breaking the rules. Okay, right. Sam, stop throwing me off. It's all your fault. This never happens when I tell this in public. It's only going bad because you're here. Okay. And then Peter says, well, like, you can't be, like, how are you even doing this? Like, it's been hot for eternity. How all of a sudden do I look down and it looks nice? And he's like, well, you know, a lot of AC guys died and, you know, came down with me. And they built us an AC unit. So now all of hell is air conditioned. It's a crisp 74 degrees in here all the time. It's very, very nice. And Peter's like, well, I'm gonna have to tell God about this. And he's like, oh yeah, like you always do. You always go tell God. And he's like, well, never mind. I'll just sue you. And then Satan says, with what lawyers?
Oh, that was the moment. I meant to press a different button.
Okay, and now I apologize to any lawyers that are listening, but come on, like, you're laughing at that joke too. It's pretty funny. Wow.
I found the button I was
Somebody
looking for.
just pulled over because they thought that they're listening to this in their car, and they just pulled over thinking that someone was honking at them. Oh, you know what? Sam.
Sorry. I'm just having fun.
Wow. You know who's not? Well, I'm having fun right now, but you know who's not having fun?
Who's not having fun?
The audience ever again, because this is our last show we're ever doing.
It's been a nice run, guys.
Okay, we are currently, 10 minutes in. You want to talk about what we actually came to talk about today?
Yes.
All right, let's try to salvage this thing.
I'm ready.
All right. So, first of all, the last couple of weeks, Sam, have been pretty rough for me.
They have been.
They have been. Just a quick recap for people who haven't been listening the last 3 weeks. First of all, you might find yourself in that purgatory we talked about in that joke if you don't keep listening more often.
Wow.
Forte Catholic, your ticket out of purgatory. I mean, that's true in so many different ways.
We're using that voice a lot today. I kind of like it.
I hate when people say we when we are not doing anything.
I did do that. I did that earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, go back and listen to it.
Oh, no, I don't listen to my own show.
Well, I got nothing.
Play your car horn again. That's your punishment every time.
I got it.
No,
that's so
don't
loud.
Do that one. Okay. I like how I said play the car horn, and then you did something different, and I was fine with it. And then you did exactly what I asked you to after 7 minutes, by the way. And I didn't like it.
It was your joke.
It was the car horn.
Because your family has a lot of lawyers.
My family does have a lot of lawyers. They all like me. So if you're a lawyer listening to this and didn't like that joke, somehow they found a way to still love me.
Producer Sam is sorry.
I hope that you do too. The last few weeks have been rough. quick recap. All while I had the bronchitis, I got hit by a car in a fender bender / hit and run and chase. I chased them down.
Right.
My car didn't start 2 different days. Like I fixed it, and then it stopped, and then it did again. I didn't have a fridge or freezer working in my home for 6 days.
So no one ate. I remember that.
No one ate. I lost 8 pounds. I lost weight. That was actually a great week. I mean, come on now. Yeah, so it's just been kind of crazy. And it's been kind of affecting my faith, and I've just been like frustrated in my faith. And for those of you who didn't listen to last week's episode, it's probably the most open and the most vulnerable I've ever been on the air. Go check it out. Forte Catholic Podcast, anywhere you listen to podcast, episode 94. The week before, we talked about boring homilies. The week before, we talked about bad church music. So it's just been kind of a lot of complaining. So today's going to be a little bit more lighthearted. But it's interesting because it wasn't just complaining. Like I was sharing from the depths of my frustration, the depths of my heart, right? And it's always risky doing that. I think even more risky than that lawyer joke I told earlier, right? Because you never know how people are going to take it. And like this show is all about making Catholicism fun again. They're bringing the joy of the gospel to people, but we don't want to lie either. Like we all have tough times, and it's about finding the joy even in those tough times. So I shared a little bit about that last week. We're going to have a more lighthearted episode this week. And just kind of, I want to share I shared the negativity with you and the frustration, and there's a great response to it. I had people responding on Twitter, responding on Instagram about how, like I had one person in particular, a buddy of mine who's listened to the show, been a big supporter of the show, reach out and just be like, dude, like that last week's episode, like I really needed to hear that. I've been having a similar week, and we were able to just in Twitter DMs to just kind of speak into each other's lives and encourage each other in the midst of this struggle. So I know I'm not alone in having rough times. It's a part of all of our lives. We're moving out of that. Like my life's moving out. The show goes wherever my life goes, right? So and I think that's a big part of it because I always want to say everyday Catholic, but that's a different show on this channel. But I'm just a normal guy, right? And like, so if this is the life I'm living, most people are going to have some kind of similar experience, right? And we're going to be able to walk through this together. So, we're going to have a little bit of fun in this first. We've already had a little bit of fun, a little too much fun, I think.
Just a little bit of fun.
In this first segment, we're going to have some fun in the third segment as well, and also talk about some of the response and like how to get out of some of those frustrating times. A good friend. I'm not going to give it away. We have a big guest in the second episode, and that's not the thing. The second segment. The second episode of today's show. We're just going 2 hours. Just going to keep going. I'm not going to give away who it is yet. You're just going to have to stay tuned and listen. She's from my hometown. We were in speech class together. And let's just say she has... I know this isn't difficult, Sam, but she is so much more successful than me. It's ridiculous.
All right.
Then again, 98% of the people in my high school graduating class are. But that's not true at all, actually. I'm all a big fan of negative humor, but I cannot give that kind of a compliment to my graduating class.
Ouch.
Not many of them became lawyers, I'll tell you that. Okay.
Ouch.
So, we're going to have a lot of fun with her. It is a her.
Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun.
Other good news this week. Sam.
Yes.
I don't even think I've told you this yet, and I know you don't even like care about social media, so you probably didn't see this.
I
But
probably did not.
Forte Catholic celebrated its Sweet 16 this week. Did you know that?
Whoa.
Okay, we did not turn 16 years old,
Oh.
but that would be weird. I started this show when I was 12.
I was thinking maybe like 16 months or something.
No, well, you know what's funny?
What?
It's actually pretty close to 16 months, but it's not. It's closer to 2 years, which I think is 24 months. That's correct. Yeah. So 16,000 downloads, Sam.
Wow.
16,000 downloads. So that's the size of a very small village. So one day we'll get up to my next goal. The town I grew up in is 28,000 people. I want my mom to listen 28,000 times so that we can get up to that amount of people. But no, it's been really cool. So like I was able to share that on social media. that number is cool. But what's really, really neat is seeing the growth over the last 3 years. It's over doubled listenership every single year. And it's just really cool for me to see how many people are just in this with me. That, like, yeah, it's my show. I talk about my life. I talk to Sam every week, and she's everybody's favorite part of the show anyway. And and we have great guests, just phenomenal guests that I get to talk to. It's such a great privilege. But the fact that people are getting behind this Make Catholicism Fun Again message and really wanting to grow together has just been really cool for me. So here's what we're going to do. We had some tough times, and Sam, you're not the only person here in this studio. I'm also here. And also, we have...
You are not alone.
We have a returnee, Mr. AJ Barrows. AJ, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, Taylor. How about yourself?
I was doing all right. Now I'm doing amazing. But just because I made you sit there and not say a word for 17 minutes, it really made my day. So we're going to keep playing a game this segment and in the third segment after we talk to surprise guest. But I just want to give people a taste, both for Sam and AJ. I play this game in youth ministry anytime I'm around other Catholics, where I set it up and it's all a farce, but it's fun. Okay. So, AJ, I'm going to do this for you first. It's a game I call Life Verse. I pretend and I say that the Lord has spoken to me and that he has given me something to share with you. And I just open up to a random verse. And no matter what verse I open up to a random page, I point at a verse and I read it. AJ, your life verse is now the deeds of King David, first and last, are recorded in the history of Samuel the seer, the history of Nathan the prophet, and the history of Gad the seer. You know what this means for you? What this means for you is that the Lord spoke to me incorrectly because it has Sam's name in this one.
Boom, baby.
And this actually should have been for Sam. Also, this one's for Sam because it doesn't make any sense and Sam doesn't make any sense to me. We're going to keep playing the game. We're going to find a better one for AJ when we come back in the final segment. But here in just a few minutes, we've got a great surprise guest. You got to stick around to figure out who it is. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. It's a pleasure to have you in today. It's a pleasure to have my next guest in. I alluded to this in the first segment. Usually I tell you who's coming on at the beginning of the first segment, but I wanted to leave this one as a little bit of a treat. So just as a little background, I went to high school with the woman that I'm about to talk to, that you're about to hear today. We went to the same high school, and I was just a young freshman. And how our high school worked is we had a freshman campus and then a main campus. You're supposed to have all your freshman classes on freshman campus. I had two classes with the older kids because of my football schedule. Anyway, I got put in this class, had to go into the big kids school, really intimidated, and I go to this speech class with this girl who's amazing in this speech class, and I was like, I knew from that moment that she would be more successful than me, and she is on the line with us today. Miss Kalyn Hemphill, how are you doing this evening?
Taylor, I'm good. I'm already laughing. Oh my gosh. You are so successful. I'm so honored just to be on this podcast, and I listened to a couple episodes or just like little snippets, and you're doing such a great job. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. And I've known from the beginning of knowing you that you were very, very nice. But I have to tell you, and I think the audience will agree with me, that you're a liar when you say that I'm as successful, because I'm about to read some of your success stories.
Oh gosh.
I think the big thing, and the thing that, if I'm not wrong, kind of threw you onto the map, in the modeling and acting world, which is where you live and do your work. You won season 6 of Project Runway. And on season 1 of Models of the Runway, 2 shows that my audience just knows that I just love modeling, and I know nothing of this world, but that's why I had you come on.
Yeah.
So how do you go from this girl who's beaten me at speech and speech class to being a professional model and actress?
Oh my gosh. Well, it has been quite the journey. I actually started modeling probably about the time when I met you. I was about 15 years old and grew up in Texas, obviously in the same town as you, Taylor. And I got scouted by a modeling agency in Houston and started doing some modeling work, and I was doing theater and stuff like that in Houston. And then I ended up graduating early from high school, um, just because I knew that I wanted to go ahead and kind of get into that whole, the whole fashion and entertainment world. So I moved to New York after graduating early, and yeah, just started working. And I was cast on Project Runway about 2 or 3 years after I moved to New York. And yeah, that was such an amazing experience. And that actually, we filmed Project Runway in LA. And shortly after filming, I was signed to a manager and a new agency out in LA. So I made the move from New York to LA several years ago. And yeah, I've just been between New York and LA for the past several years. And, praise God, he's been sustaining me with work and taking me on all kinds of fun and crazy adventures and to new sets all the time. But I love it. And yeah, there's really nothing else that I would want to be doing with my life right now. So I'm really grateful.
It's such a cool story. It's been so fun for me to watch. We live in a small town, so there are about 8 people that are successful that came out of it, and you're one of the 8. So it's just fun for me to watch people be successful. And God blessed you with a beautiful face, so you're doing what you're doing. He gave me my face, which is why I'm behind a radio, because no one ever wants to see me. Oh my gosh,
stop, Taylor.
So this was funny. So I have been keeping up with you, and then this week, in preparation for the interview, I started going to watch some more of the stuff that you were on, and I saw. I went and watched your acting reel, and
okay.
I said at the beginning of the interview, you're one of the nicest people I've ever met. I know that you and my mom have actually been close. We have a couple other mutual friends that I know that I've kind of been keeping up with you through. My mom and Anthony Whistler, who I know you are a fan of the show.
Yeah. So. 2 amazing people that you're so blessed to have in your life.
I know, absolutely. It's the only reason I'm not a heathen is those 2 people. So,
oh my God.
So I was watching your acting reel, knowing you're one of the nicest people, Christian woman. I would say model Christian woman, but then people wouldn't know what I was saying. Like, are you a model that's a Christian? Or am I saying that you're like the model of a Christian? Either one is true. So here's one thing that I got to watch. I got to watch some of your time on NCIS Los Angeles, and more importantly, Days of Our Lives, which I think is just fantastic because I think our parents watched that show. And
yes,
now you're on it.
It's been on for a while.
So my favorite part of that, first of all, I was just like, that's hilarious because of that the show has been on forever. And you're a young woman who was on this show that's been on for so long. But I just cracked up when I saw the part you played in there. You played such a mean woman, and I watched you get in a fight in Days of Our Lives. It was so much fun for me to watch. I'm just like, she is a good actress because that's not Kalyn.
You are so nice. Well, it's always fun to that's why I love to act, is because you kind of get to step outside of, how you act on like a day-to-day basis and kind of get to explore like different things. And so it was fun when my agent said, "Oh, you're going to be playing this character that gets into a cat fight." I was like, "Oh, that's fun. I've never been in a cat fight before, but I'll do my best."
Did you do any research on cat fights, like on form, like how to do it correctly before you played the role?
No, but I think I saw a few in middle school and high school. So, I kind of just drew from those experiences, I guess you could say.
That's fantastic. So not only are you crazy successful in modeling and acting, but you've been a devout Christian woman for all that I know. So unless you tricked me at some point, I've always known this about you.
Yeah.
So like one question that I have, we talked a little bit before we came on the air, is I've never talked to a model because, again, how I look. So I have talked to people who are authors, and I can see how that connects to our faith. I've talked to people who like work in ministry. That one's pretty obvious. I've talked to policemen, and they're like, it connects with my faith because I'm protecting people. So that's where I kind of want to go with this with you is like, first of all, like why did you pick modeling? What was the initial like impetus for it? And what are the what's like the big connection that you see between your faith and your modeling?
Well, first off, I would say that I didn't even pick modeling. I feel like it kind of just like it was just one of those things that even if I kind of ran away from it, it just kept coming back into my life, And I do love like fashion and entertainment, that whole world. And so I think that God puts just a passion on your heart for the people that he wants you to minister to and the field that he wants you to minister to. And so I really have a heart for women and for seeing women just really live in their identity in Christ and freedom. And there is so much, I would just say, like bondage and so many lies that are in the fashion and entertainment industry. And I've just always felt just a call to kind of go in, and God's equipped me just, with being tall and having the proportions to model, to go into these sets and to go into these environments where hopefully I can bring the light of Christ and also tell of the freedom that's in Christ to these people that not a lot of people have access to on a daily basis. So I just always kind of am like, Lord, use me as a vessel and send me into the darkest places. And use my talent, use my gifts, use whatever you want to use to be able to minister to these people who so desperately need Jesus.
It's interesting that you talk about the darkness because, like, a lot of times we hear about, oh yeah, Hollywood's is a hard place for faith and it's repressive to faith, and or the deep. The deep inner parts of New York City. And so how are you able to, first of all, how are you able to keep your faith in an industry that at least is rumored to be unfriendly to it?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that, when it talks about in John 15, abiding with Christ and just trying to keep your mind fixed on him at all times, I just feel like I just constantly have to, in between going to castings, going to jobs, I just feel like I'm turning on the worship music in my car, listening to the audio Bible, like really prioritizing my quiet time in the morning and making Jesus like the first thought in my mind in the morning and the last thought before I go to bed, and just constantly praying. I just feel like that is so important when you're surrounded by such craziness all the time, and so many people that think so differently than you as a Christian. And so, yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but also when Jesus is the one that you're focusing on, and he's the one who ultimately you want the applause from, when you want the approval and the applause from God and not from man, it makes it a lot easier.
So what kind of explain modeling to me? So what kind of work are you involved in? So you're being a light in this darkness. You're able to continue to abide in Christ, as you said. So now explain your career. Like, explain to people, what are you actually doing? Because I don't know. I don't get it.
Oh my gosh. Well, every day is different. So I have several agents. So for example, here in LA,
Fancy.
I also have a set of agents in New York, but here in LA, I have a print agency, a runway agency, a commercial agency, a theatrical agency, and a manager. So all of those agents work to find me auditions, and the auditions and castings hopefully lead to jobs. So every night, everything's very last minute in this industry. And so every night around 5 or 6 p.m., I get my castings and auditions for the next day and sometimes jobs. And so it's just a constant, like you constantly kind of have to be on call and ready to drive wherever they want you to go for the castings, ready to memorize lines and, maybe even be on set the next morning. Like everything is really last minute and crazy, but it's fun. And I think I've kind of just learned to roll with it. I'm a little bit of a like type A. I like to have everything scheduled and under control, but I've had to kind of let that go and learn to roll with the punches and kind of just take things as they come. So
See, you're learning to roll with the punches and how to catfight. I'm so proud of you.
oh, why, thank you.
So
I know every day is different.
Yeah. So one of the things that I find interesting is like, I've talked to so many different kind of people that, there's an author and they have a special insight into the faith. And then I talk to, like a woman, and a woman has a different insight to the faith than me. Or I talk to somebody who lives in Africa and they have a different insight to the faith, or somebody who's a police officer, they have a different insight into the faith. So what do you think are some things that would be particular to it, like a lesson you've learned in your faith that you think would be, you found it particularly because of modeling or acting, but it's probably it would probably be beneficial for all of us to hear.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just kind of what I alluded to earlier, just really placing my identity in Christ. Because every day, like I said, I have auditions and castings every day, and people are judging me based on the way that I look and the way that I perform. And that can be really, really difficult. And I don't understand how people who aren't, or who don't, put their identity and their hope in Jesus, like I don't understand how they even can cope, because there is so much rejection and people are constantly telling me I'm not good enough or not pretty enough or not whatever enough. Wow. And, I think as I've gotten older, I've just been like, you know what? I'm not going to be, number one, I'm not perfect. Only God is, only Jesus is. And that's okay. And really, at the end of the day, I just want to stand before God and for Him to say, well done, good and faithful servant. And it really doesn't matter the parts that I got down here or who accepted or rejected me or anything like that. As long as I have the approval of God, that really is the only thing that matters. So just placing my identity in that and remembering the eternal perspective rather than just the temporal perspective is very, very important. And it's much easier said than done, but, I try.
And I think you just proved the point in a very interesting way, that's particular to you and your modeling and acting, but it absolutely speaks into my life. I was just having a conversation with a guy who mentors me in the spiritual life, and his big question for me this month is like, God is asking you, am I enough? Is God enough in my life? If I only have God, is that enough? And that's what I'm wrestling with and working through. It's like, I think I need God and this, or God and this. It's like, no, like I'm enough, Yes. So that's just beautiful. So, hey, how can people get connected with you? How can they find out what you're doing and follow you?
Well, I mean, I have social media, of course, on Facebook, just my name, Kalyn Hemphill, or same on Instagram at Kalyn Hemphill. I'm not really active on Twitter, but on most social media platforms, you can find me, and I usually try to keep up with posting some of the latest stuff. So yeah, find me and give me a follow if you want.
Do it. She's awesome. So, hey, we are out of time, but I have a special gift for you. Long story short, there's this new app that I found that you can take pictures of things, and it suggests scripture passages for it. It's supposed to be used for like spiritual things. I've mainly been using it for jokes, but I put your I put your picture in to see what came out, and it wasn't a joke. I thought you'd be very uplifted by this. So here you go.
Okay, wait, I want to hear.
It's a picture of you, and I literally just took a picture of you, and the Bible app said, this is the verse that defines your face. Are you ready?
Okay.
Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So whether you live in Lake Jackson, Texas, or you live in New York City or LA, or you're on this casting call or that thing, maybe not, maybe yes tomorrow, God's always with you. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Taylor. And I love that verse. That is one of my life verses. So thank you.
That's so funny. The internet knows. All right. Thanks so much. Guys, we will be right back for our final segment of the day. We are going to have a little bit of the fun with this Bible app I was just talking about, and a little bit of encouragement into some of the struggles that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. So stay tuned for our final segment of the day. Yo, I hope you are enjoying today's show. We're having so much fun making it. That interview was fantastic. She was awesome. Hey, if you are enjoying the show, you can do something super easy. Take you 30 seconds to help me out and help other people hear about the show. Head on over to iTunes, wherever you are listening to the podcast. Go give it a rating and leave your review. It would be fantastic. Help more people to find the show. I would really, really appreciate it. Help me, help you, help someone else make Catholicism fun again in their life. Enjoy the rest of the show. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. Oh, yeah. Play the car horn, Sam. Play the car horn. I'm just kidding. Don't play the car horn. Don't play the car horn. If you didn't listen to the first segment, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you're welcome. So, man, I love Kalyn Hemphill. She's the best. If you ever miss out on any segment of the show and want to get that extra time out of purgatory that we talked about earlier, you can always find the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching Forte Catholic, or you can head on over to fortecatholic.com for all your Forte Catholic needs. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, your boy Taylor over here is going on a slew of other people's podcasts. I went on the John 3:30 podcast, John chapter 3, verse 30, right? Went on that. We had a blast. Go check it out. John 3:30 podcast. I also posted about it on my social media. You can find it on Instagram at Taylor Schroll. Posted about it there. We talked about the Jesus and all kind of fun stuff. Sam, you're probably tired of me. So,
no way, Jose.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm not physically tired.
You're not physically tired. Just only emotionally and mentally. So here we go. I'm going to pull this up. We talked about, you've heard of this Kiki challenge, right?
Yes.
Right.
Are you right?
I saw a meme today. Did you ever watch Kiki's Delivery Service growing up as a child?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Only because I'm friends with Mackenzie New.
Okay. Me and my sisters watched that show 50 plus times together. It was like it was one of our like 5 movies as children that like, everybody has their 5 movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you watch over and like ours were like Lion King.
Okay.
Kiki's Delivery Service, which was the weird one in the back. Sandlot, Little Rascals.
That's a good one.
Do
you think that this goes back to like the 5 people you hang out with?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That influences you in some way?
Sam's bringing up old shows where we made fun of her. Good job, Sam.
Go back and listen. I don't know what episode it was.
I don't either. Way to
listen
show how prepped I am.
You're welcome.
So anyway, we talked. I sang the Kiki challenge.
Okay.
On the podcast. So that's That's a special treat that can only happen on the John 330 podcast. I also talked about The Little Mermaid. Okay, so The Little Mermaid. How do you think I connected The Little Mermaid to faith, Sam?
Listen to your dad.
Is that in The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, she didn't listen to her dad. And
I
then it
thought
got
you were
her in
saying that was
trouble
a-
with
that-
Ursula.
I thought you were saying that was a quote. I grew up with a lady named Ursula, and I was always terrified of her because I thought she was going to sprout tentacles.
little
I'm just kidding.
squid
I
legs.
love you, Miss Ursula. She's not a lawyer, otherwise she wouldn't be like me. We were talking about evangelization, and I started singing, I want to go where the people are.
That's valid. That's valid.
We also, his whole show is about keeping your flame of faith burning. So I just said we talked about getting lit. So it was so much fun.
Valid.
Go check it out. John 330 podcast, episode 61. Okay, enough about me. Let's talk about me. Okay.
I knew that was coming.
So we talked about life verse at the end of the first segment.
Yes.
Okay. It's a game that I play, and either way, it's fun for me because sometimes it's actually really eerie. How this works is I say, I get a Bible in my hands, and I have a group of people around, and I say, the Lord has spoken to me, and he said that this is the verse that defines your life right now. And I open up to a random spot in the Bible, and I point at a verse, and whatever that is, that's your life verse. And Sam, you live as long as your life lasts.
Yes. That seems true.
So you're stuck with this life verse forever.
Life verse.
Okay. So unless I change it, I'm the only person with the power to change it.
Maybe this needs to be a new segment. Life verse.
Life verse.
And we can have
Again, we have
sound effects.
sound effects for this.
Well, I can't mess with it right now.
You can't. You're right. Okay. So I tried one for AJ earlier, and it was dumb. So
Yeah.
the Lord messed up. I'm just kidding. It's all human error. But the Lord was human. It's very confusing. It's all very confusing. Yeah, okay, so AJ, I'm going to try again for you. I went Old Testament last time. Oh, yeah, by the way, AJ's here. Okay. Hey, AJ.
He's not really talking. Talk, AJ.
It always bothers me when I say, hey, AJ. I feel like I should just say, hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, AJ. Hey, AJ. Hey.
Bossy. I feel like it's a waste of an A.
No, it's perfect.
It's 3 A's in a row just with a J, the letter J. The letter J. I don't know how to say this. Hey, AJ. Hey. Okay. Anyway, this is stupid. So is this game.
Life verse.
So life
Life
verse.
verse.
I have found a new one for you.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm so excited.
AJ, have you ever read the book of First Timothy?
Yeah.
Or are you more a fan
pretty
of,
good one.
of Second Timothy? Here's what I wish would have happened in the Bible. I wish there would have been I wish Jude would have just been called First Jude, and then we'd wonder for years whatever happened to Second Jude. And you know what
Jude.
Dang it, Sam! I was setting up for a Hey Jude joke, and you messed it up. Gosh!
We didn't prepare that. I didn't know.
We have to start up. We have to start the segment over. You stole my thunder. Lightning and a thunder.
Oh, there you go. You got it. You got it back with that one. You're
think I
so good.
Gosh, you make me angry. Go away. Okay. First Timothy. You read it. I didn't even listen to your answer.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Did you read it?
He's
Just
like
BS.
Jesus. I ask him a question and he answers a different question. Hey, Jesus, where have you been? You should live like bread. Okay.
Where is the bread?
Are you just avoiding the question? Have you read First Timothy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a very simple question that I asked you.
Oh yeah. I thought you heard. Yeah, I've read it.
I confused you with all the singing. I
There's been so much singing.
just yelling at Sam.
This was the
Okay.
musical episode.
First Timothy, chapter 1,
Sing it. Sing it.
verse 14. Indeed, the grace of our Lord has been abundant, along with the faith and love that are in Jesus Christ. This saying is trustworthy and deserves full acceptance. Jesus Christ,
the wheel.
Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners. Of these, I am the foremost. That is perfect. AJ is the foremost of sinners.
I am the.
See, every now and then, and by every now and then, I mean every time except when we try to do this in the first segment. This segment works. This absolutely works.
We'll
So
just cut it out of the first
your
one.
life verse is that you are the foremost of sinners.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. Okay, Sam.
Yes.
I think the first time I ever played this with you, we were in a very large vehicle driving from Central Texas
Yes.
to Eastern Ohio.
Yes.
We were stuck in a car together, so what does Taylor do? He whips out his Bible and starts giving everyone their life verse. Do you remember what it was then?
I think I remember what it was, but I'm not confident.
The answer is no, you've never listened to me talk. So I'm going...
This is not true, by the way.
I'm going to do what I did with AJ. I'm going to give you one from the Old Testament.
Wait, are you going to say the one that you gave me last time? Wait, I'm thinking of the one that you flipped for yourself.
What did I do for myself? I don't remember any of these. That's the whole point
well,
of this.
we'll talk about it after the show. You have to listen to Patreon to catch what the verse was.
The whole point of this is that none of this is real. So I don't remember any of it. So, but it's just fun for me. So,
okay, so I'm getting something out of the Old Testament.
you are. So, I'm going to let you help the Lord in this process.
Jesus.
Okay.
That's me helping him.
This is the musical episode. Oh, that was not helpful to him
No,
whatsoever.
it was. I called upon his name,
Okay.
and he's going to answer me.
Beginning, middle, or end? Say something. This is dead radio, and it's
Giving
not
up
good.
on you.
I asked
The end,
AJ.
the end,
I
the
asked AJ if he's read a verse of the Bible. He doesn't answer that question for 30
Okay,
seconds.
you know that I panic
asked
sometimes when I
you-
get asked questions that I'm not prepared for.
You want to just? You want me to
End.
set up another joke that you can steal?
Hey,
Is that what
Jude.
You're the worst.
End.
The end. Okay.
Why are you going to the beginning?
I'm not.
okay,
It's
just making
I'm
sure.
going to the end of the Old Testament.
Okay.
Close to the end. Opened up to Baruch. Have you ever read Baruch? That answer's no.
That answer's definitely no.
I'm not
I
going to
can't
wait
even-
30 seconds for that
I
answer.
can't even spell Baruch.
Try.
No, this is so embarrassing. B-R...
Nah!
Dang it. I don't know how to spell it.
B-R. Baruch.
Baruch.
You know what else is Baroque? Your spelling. Okay.
Wow, that's hurtful.
I'm
It's fine.
just glad you didn't beat me to the punchline. Okay. So chapter... Whatever. I'm so angry. All right. Chapter 3 of Baruch.
I'm feeling confident about this.
What's your birth date?
October 27th.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm asking the most simple questions and no one will answer me. This is
Do you
just
want to
like...
know the year, too?
No, I just wanted the answer. What's the number? I wasn't even listening.
27th.
27. Okay.
I'm like really close to your birthday.
I don't care.
We share a birthday week.
In it were born the giants.
I'm excited.
It's talking about birth. This
That
is good.
means I was a giant because I'm very tall.
In it were born giants. Here's what we're going to do. You know how there are like the little asterisks that like tell you to explain this? Yeah, I'm going to that here in a second. Verse 26, apparently the giants reflects a tradition about giants who existed before the flood. This was developed in the non-canonical book of Enoch. You know what non-canonical means, Sam?
Nope.
It means it was a book that tried to get into the Bible that wasn't let in the party.
Aw. Poor guy.
It wasn't good enough to be in the Bible. So essentially what they're saying is all of this is based off of a book that's not in the Bible. That's fantastic.
But I like the fact they're talking about giants.
In it were born the giants, renowned at the first. You've been renowned forever. Huge in stature,
That is me.
skilled in war.
Heck yeah.
So this is just
I'm a warrior
opposite of what
princess.
Sam is.
No, this is me.
Short, not skilled at war. Who's better at catfighting, Sam or Kalyn Hemphill, who we had on last segment?
Well,
These God did not choose, nor did he give them the way of...
I don't want to be the giants.
Wait.
Okay.
Nor did he give them the way of understanding.
Aw.
They perished for lack of prudence, perished through their
giants.
own folly. Life first.
I feel bad for the giants.
Oh, no. You should feel bad for yourself because that's what the Lord said you are.
You just said it wasn't me. You said this was the opposite of Sam.
I said that. The Lord said this.
Oh, okay, got it.
Me and the Lord disagree once in a while. Okay. Are you ready for your New Testament one?
Yes.
I'm going to try this again against my better judgment. Beginning, middle, or end?
Beginning preferably in Luke.
Okay, Matthew.
Dang it. Luke is my favorite, just in case anyone wanted to know.
Matthew. chapter.
You did that on
Of
purpose.
course, I did it on purpose. I was in Luke, and I changed it when you said that. AJ's going to help the Lord with this one. AJ, what is your favorite number 1 through 20?
2.
All right, I'm going to go to chapter 15, and
This is all a ploy.
go to verse. Which number doesn't have a 2 in it? 19. For from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery,
Wow.
unchastity, theft, false witness, blasphemy.
That is true.
These are what defile a person, but to eat with unwashed hands does not defile. Life verse.
I feel like that could be like a fortune cookie.
Wait. I just realized what the Lord did.
What?
The Lord spoke to AJ and said that he was the dirtiest of all sinners. And then he just spoke about you and said, these are the list of all the sins that make you and AJ dirty, rotten sinners.
Hey.
And you hang out with me. And if AJ is chief among sinners, I'm the general.
Always comes
So
back.
this is a great moment in Life Verse. So here's what I want to do. I want to tell you how Life Verse has come to life in a whole new app. This app has changed my life, and it's going to be a part of the show for the next ever. I'm so excited by this app. People are going to get tired of it, so I'm going to have to stop at some point. But I'm having so much fun. It's called Bible Lens. You have to go get this. It's the YouVersion Bible Lens. I talk about the YouVersion Bible app all the time on the show. They came out with a new app this week called what, Sam?
Bible lens.
That is
contact
correct.
lens.
Okay. So what it does is it uses the modern technology.
Modern.
Hey, Sam, mute Sam. So you take a picture of anything, and it will suggest to you based on the picture what it makes like a beautiful image for you, right? So it's like, if it's a picture, you've seen these before. It's a picture of like these people hanging out, and the verse will say, where two or more are gathered, there
That
there
was the
you are in my
verse I
name.
was thinking.
Right, okay. We're going to play a game like this. We're going to start it today. We're absolutely going to play it again next week.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is, how it's supposed to be used is for things like that. But me being Taylor and making Catholicism fun again, as what I try to do, I definitely have just been trying to use it for hilarity's sake. So I started taking pictures of ridiculous stuff. So I'm going to give everybody a little sneak peek into next week's show as we wrap up today. I took a picture of myself doing the stupid face that I always do. And I'll share some of these pictures on Instagram at Taylor Schroll, on the Twitters as well at Taylor Schroll, and Forte Catholic on the Facebooks. It's a picture of me with my large beard, and it's just my face making a stupid face. And what the internet says that the verse should be is, "I will sing to the Lord praise. For he has been good to me." I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like that's actually kind of a nice one. It knows that I'm a singer somehow. And then I was like, I'm gonna trick the app. I'm gonna trick it. And I put my finger over the camera, so it's a picture of nothing, right? You know what verse it gave me? And God said, "Let there be light in the vault of the sky to separate the night and the day." It knew it was darkness, right? I already shared in the last segment. I took a picture of Kalyn Hemphill, who is a model, and it was a verse that absolutely pertained to her story. This is creepy. I took a picture of me on the cover of Madden 2007. Don't ask. I'll tell that story next week. Do you not know? Oh, Sam, you're breaking it. Sam, you ruined everything. Do you not know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? One run in such a way to get a prize. It knew it was sports. This is phenomenal stuff. We're going to talk about it next week. Check out the app. Send me the best pictures you got at Taylor Schroll, all social media, ForteCatholic.com. See ya!